Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Welcome to Tampa, my rats. Personally been very pumped for this episode. It's episode 20. Very monumental episode. And monumental because we have Kaleigh.
Hi, everybody.
I should say, I guess, best friends since high school, but maybe not BFFs originally. Care to share
Enemies
our hate
to besties?
Instead of friends to foes, it was foes to friends.
Yes. Shit. We met at the water park, right? Like when we
Yes.
both worked at Big Kahuna's.
Yes.
Crazy time. Us high schoolers were running Big Kahuna's. And you were dating one of my friends at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the enemy part came because I was like, you gotta break up with her. Like, she's a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
then, and then we became friends after.
yeah.
Me and him were not together anymore? Or did we eventually become friends, like, while we were still dating? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. I think we just happened to, like, start hanging out at parties.
Yeah.
And then we just were like, oh, actually, like, she's kind of fun.
Yeah. Like,
And
the
then it
other
was,
is
like,
not that bad.
Yeah. Like, I think it was just that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just like, I was not trying to steal your man. We're just driving together to work in a group.
Oh, the carpool days.
Yes. Because we were all driving. Well, you lived in closer.
Yeah, I lived in Fort Walton, but you guys being in Navarre, like...
It was an hour drive.
An
so we
hour.
would, like, everyone who worked there, we would meet, like, at our high school. And then take turns of who drove. Us all there, pretty much.
But he didn't have a car, so he never drove.
Oh, really? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Then I wonder who originally would have picked him up.
You, I think, every day.
No.
Who else was... Oh, you
I've
guys
never
did
liked
have
driving. I've always been
Yeah.
lazy about driving.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
know.
way I would do that.
Someone's like, oh, I'll drive. I'm like, pull my arm or something. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really...
I definitely think it was just like, we just happened to be at a party though, and that's when we were just kind of like, but I don't
Yeah.
know, like, when did we start, like, really hanging out? I think we had just, like, a mutual friend that we both hung out with separately, maybe?
Yeah, Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, I think we just were
Yeah.
around each other more and more.
Well, because I think she was like, you guys have got to be friends, so I'm going to force you guys to be around each other.
And we were like, I could walk to her house.
Yeah.
So if, like, you were over there, like, we would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then our friendship has then blossomed.
The rest is history, you guys. So on a more serious note, if we're talking about history, what do you value most about our long-standing friendship?
I feel like the most valuable thing in, like, a friendship like ours, especially when we haven't lived next to each other in years, is, like, we don't have to talk every single day,
Yeah.
but, like, we're still best friends. Like, and you just kind of leave off wherever. Like, or I could just call you up randomly and you would, like, either answer or call me back as soon as you could. And, like, we could talk for hours. Like, it just kind of, no matter what, like, we're always going to try to, like, come back and see each other as well. It's not, like, one-sided. Like, it's just easy. And,
Yeah.
like, we also have similar, like, of what we like to do. Like, we could also just hang out and be like, let's just be couch potatoes today. I don't want to do anything. We just want to, like, hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we want to go out, like, we want to go out. Like, we
Yeah.
have that in common too. So I feel like we have similar interests in, like, how we would spend a day or a week or whatever. So it's, like, easy to just, like, hang out and be together. And
Yeah, I definitely think I would say my values on the friendship are pretty similar too, because us being like long distance besties now, and I feel like I'm just like not great at communicating even with my friends who like live in the same place as me. I'm just like I'm working all day, then I have my child, like I'm not checking my phone, or by the time I check my phone then I'm like, "Oh, I'm like I'm too busy to respond right now," or I'll like type up a response, forget to send it. Um so it's nice to have friends who like aren't upset about daily communication.
Yeah. And I feel like as an adult, like, you can't still have that, like, outlook of, like, you have to talk to them every single day or, like, be upset if they don't get to you right away. I just feel like it's not the same as, like, when we were kids. It's like we have so much more to do and going on, and it's like I just forget half the time, especially if I'm, like, have a long drive home from work. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, as soon as I get home, I'm gonna text them." No, after an hour drive home, I forgot.
Or even the drive home, because I remember even when I wasn't working from home, like after a day doing what we do, the last thing I want to do, like on my car ride home, is call somebody. Like I want to listen to music, jam out, like
Mhm. Compress.
disassociate, like just decompress. And then I want to like go home and do whatever. So like that's not what I want to spend my time doing, calling someone. Even if it's someone who I adore, it's still conversation. And I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel the same way. Unless it's, like, something's big going on, then I'll be like, if there's, like, exciting news or something that I'm like, "Oh my god, no, I
Yeah,
wanna,
I
like,
need to
call
tell
them and
them.
tell them,
Yeah.
like, this is da 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 da." But, I mean, otherwise, it's kinda like, "Mm, let me get there."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay. Quick little transition change there, you guys who are watching video will see. But now on another serious note, to follow on one of your points about what made us become friends, or I guess where we were originally foes, then friends. So I think something too that I often have like a lot of anxiety about is like being a bitch, but it's mainly just because like I have like extremely large walls up, like I don't put up with a lot of crap, like I think because like a lot of the trauma and stuff that I went through in life. So from your perspective, like having seen me in so many stages of life, because what we've been like friends now, I guess like for like 8 years,
yeah,
if not longer.
longer.
Because yeah, like probably closer to 9 or 10 years.
Mhm.
So, from your perspective, what are your feelings on that? Do you ever feel like you, that I'm like from the outside looking in, like, do I come across as a bitch?
I mean, I don't think so, but I think just you have a strong personality
Mm-hmm.
and views and stuff, but I think when you're, like, friends with someone,
Mm-hmm.
you're way more, like, open about stuff. You're not as reserved, um, and also, like, I feel like as we've gotten older too, like, you can handle a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
but also it's like if someone's being a bitch, then not you, but, like, another person, like, you're just not
Yeah.
gonna put up with it, and you're just, like, gonna be like, "Okay, whatever," like, keep going. Versus I feel like when we were younger, you probably were more likely to, like, go off
Right. And
on
be
a
like,
short
oh,
fuse versus
wow.
now, like,
Yeah.
that fuse is a lot, like,
Thanks, therapy.
larger than it was. And
Yeah.
even then, I feel like most of the time, like, you it wasn't just, like, out of no reason. You were just like, "Fuck
No,
that
like
bitch,"
if
like,
I was feuding with
like
someone, I really felt like it was something like personal and like that I needed to bring it up.
yeah.
But yeah, I do think I have definitely gotten a lot better at like being like, this is just not really worth my energy. So,
But
like, I don't even.
The jackpots continue to soar. Go to any New York Lottery retailer today for your chance to win the Powerball jackpot or play for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call the Hope Line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
I'm here to speak to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like as an adult, like, there's no point in even attempting to, like, keep relationships with people that you're not vibing with, like, you're not getting along,
Right.
have different, like, outlooks or whatever, because it's, like, you only have so much time.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you have a son now and so it's, like, you really don't have, like, a bunch of time. So it's, like, you only want to put in that time and energy for people who do it back to you.
Yeah.
And reciprocate that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how it should be. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have to, like, do way more, and it's a lot of energy and a lot of time, and it's, like, hard to continue a friendship, like, maybe you guys have just grown apart, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in some ways. But
I always wonder how people, I mean, I know people do it. And there's people that I know from like elementary school, middle school, high school, like all of the things that I wouldn't say like I dislike or that I like don't want to be friends with, but like I keep up with them on Facebook and social media, you know, but I'm always like, how do people have friendships with people they've known like since elementary school?
I don't know. I mean, I have a few friends that I've been friends with since elementary school, but we don't live in the same
But
states.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, like I think of that in a sense of like people who were friends with me in high school and are still friends with me to this day. Like I could say you, for example, I think are some of the most OG friends I could ever have in life because who I was in high school, like was very reactive, like was very, I don't know, undergoing like the first stages of like dealing with my life's trauma, I think. So like I don't even like that bitch. So that's like why I always wonder how people who have been friends like since they were kids like are friends even as adults because I'm like, "Ooh, how do you go through that many stages of life with somebody and not once does the other person be like, I don't really want to fuck with you anymore."
I mean, I feel like you can have, like, disagreements or, like, maybe periods where you're not, like, as, like, engaged with that person.
Yeah.
But, like, my two friends that I've had since elementary school, like, I don't think I've ever really gotten in any, like, true fights or arguments, like, where we've stopped being friends or whatever. Like, maybe we don't talk, like, super often, but, like, we'll still make opportunities to, like, go visit each other
Right.
and things like that. But I feel like also we were all crazy then. So it's like,
Yeah.
like, if you look back and you're like, you know, you think of, like, your cringe moments and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Or like, that's
Somebody
so
else probably
embarrassing.
did it
And
too.
it's like, you
Yeah.
weren't the only one doing that. Like, everyone has those, like, things, like, you know, like, you were not, our brains were not fully developed.
No.
And it shows.
It really does. I like think back about and like also too when people will be like, "Oh my God, remember when?" And I'm like, "Actually, no."
I'd rather not.
Like even if I do remember it, I'm like, "No." Because
I
I'm
have
like,
no idea what you're
I just
talking about.
I just don't want to segue into the conversation of feeling like we should talk about it because it's like, no, like I don't remember that at all. Actually, who even are you?
I'm gonna pretend I don't know who you are.
Yeah. Well, other things that Kayleigh's great at, which you guys can't see, but I can, and I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3. Is that real right there?
No.
Okay, 4, 5. There's only 5 in the room right now
Yeah, I took,
because the
like,
dude.
5 of them out.
But Kayleigh is my green thumb bitch. She is who I spoke about in one episode, who I rang up to figure out why my indoor plants were dying. But go ahead and talk about how you're such a green thumb and how you have I think I also counted in there earlier today, and I think on one of the shelves you had 12 alone.
Yeah. I don't even, I feel like I wouldn't even call myself, like, a green thumb. I mean, I could keep plants alive, and I've kept plants alive for years, but also, like, they're so temperamental too. Like, I've had a plant, like, a couple weeks ago that I've had for, like, 4 years. Never had, like, a leaf die. It died within a week. Like, every single one just, like, wilted and died. So it's like a trial and error. And
But there's clearly a lesser amount of error in your plant life than there is in the majority of. So like, I just don't understand. So this is what, and I asked Duke this yesterday too. I was like, so what is her like watering schedule? So do you just come in here like on a, say like, oh, it's Monday, I'm putting this plant, this plant, this plant in the shower or something?
I have no water. Like,
So
watering,
when
it's
do
just,
you
like,
feel
when I
like
feel like they
you
need
need to
water.
water? I know, but like
Like,
to me, I think I'm just too type A that like I'm like,
you're probably like over watering because you're like, oh, it has to be like every third day or it has to be every week. Like, you look at the plant and it's like, it's looking a little weird. Like, I should water it. Or like, I don't use it, but I used to use it, and it was like, it checked like how wet the soil was, because sometimes like it can still be really like damp underneath and just like the top inch.
Yeah.
But usually like a rule of thumb too is like the like top 2 inches. If it's still like moist or wet, then you don't need to water. But if it starts drying, then some do. But like say like the monsteras, like I think I water them like every 2 weeks ish. But other
But they're
plants
so
need it like every
established
3
though,
days.
also. Like I feel like these are very established plants of yours, so they would need less, right?
Um,
Maybe I'm
Not
thinking
necessarily. I mean, I don't know. Like that's the thing, is I don't actually feel like I'm that knowledgeable about plants.
Yeah.
Like plant names or like like I don't know, I get indoor soil. Sometimes I mix up my own stuff with random
Yeah.
stuff that I find online. But like I don't have like a strict like this is what you do. Like I'll change the soil when I feel like it needs,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't feel like it's having new growth or it's kind of like stagnant, I'll maybe like up the pot size.
See, I feel like that's my difficulty though, is like, say I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do a watering schedule. Then it winds up just being me like, oh, fuck. Like I realized that I haven't watered the plant and now it's like just dead. Like there's no coming back.
I feel like there are signs like before it's like completely
But that's what I'm saying.
dead.
But I'm not like you. Like there's not a plant in like every room of my house. Like I just have a few.
Yeah.
So like, and I think that they're in an area where it's like, I'm probably not looking over there every single day and thinking about them every single day. So by the time it hits me, I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
they are extra in need of some help.
Maybe just move them to like a room that you are in every single day. And then as you start like being able to keep those alive, then you can start like dispersing them around the house. Because I think when I first started getting plants, like I only had them in one room. Like I didn't have them in a bunch of rooms.
Yeah.
But now and also I had a greenhouse that got destroyed in the hurricane.
Yeah.
So like I lost a lot of plants, and then some just like don't look the same. Like they just kind of look a little like, oh, since then, even though I brought most of them in, but then I brought some back out, and it just like,
yeah,
it's such a different like environment from having the greenhouse to just being like out there on that deck. So I lost like a lot of plants, and then I had to bring a lot more in
because they can't get that much sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's my other thing, is I have to figure out, like, I feel like you always have plenty of windows that also then have an area that a plant could be, but I have to be very strategic. Like the sunroom was helpful because I could get a bunch of the like hanging macrame things, but those are really only for like super small plants. So, and I think the only plant that really does well with like no light or anything is what, like a snake plant.
Yeah, I think snake plants can
Like they can.
dude.
That's
I've
what I'm
had the
saying.
snake
That's
plant
what
on the
somebody
ground,
has told
flipped
me.
over out of its thing for like 3 months, and it's still growing. It's just like on the ground because
somebody has told me that they're like, you just need to get a bunch of snake plants because there's no way you could kill that. And I'm like, okay. I have one, and I had one before too, and that's one of the ones I said it is doing better. So I do think I was overwatering it, because when I told you that it said on the thing like water every week, I was like, okay, because I was thinking of how things went the last time, and like me not watering them enough to the point where I was like, oh, they're fucking dead and like nothing's gonna cure these. So now, like that I just went ahead and like re-soiled them and everything too, because I was like, I just like don't. I think I also need to quit using the moisture control soil, because I feel like it actually, like, it's supposed to help it from being underwatered or overwatered, but I feel like if you accidentally do overwater it, then it just holds that moisture so much.
I think just if that does happen, you have to make sure it like just completely dries out before you water it again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I also like I don't really own any plants that are like really hard to keep alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have any super expensive crazy plants that are like super temperamental
Mm-hmm.
where like just a change in moving the pot, but also like I clean the leaves and stuff because when they start getting dusty, it can have like the sun distribution, I think, can be different. I don't know. I read it online. It could not be not true, but I don't know.
You're like, okay, I'll do it.
I'm like, whatever.
I mean, I could see how that could be true because also think about like bugs
rotating
and stuff.
them and
Yeah.
stuff, like
I mean, for
they're-
bigger ones, but like that's the thing. I don't have any big ones. I'm not there yet. I'm not as committed.
That plant that's shut in the door right now.
That would be because Matthew went outside to pee last night because the door is so loud and we didn't want to wake him up. So
Yeah.
So that'll segue us into she has been very upset this weekend about her plants not being taken seriously. Meanwhile, what are these monsteras?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've never seen someone have this many monsteras and then be like actually not dead because apparently these are hard plants to keep alive. I don't think that it's necessarily that they're hard to keep alive, but they multiply so fast that you have to keep repotting them so much. So I think that anyways, but she has one in the corner of the dining room, like where there is a dining room chair and someone's going to have to walk around, but then is upset when someone hits the leaf. And then now you have one right here that's by a door that someone's going to have to go in and out of. Clearly the leaf goes over the door. So what do you expect?
Well, I will say, to be fair for that one, that unit right there is not usually there. It was the blanket holder, right? So Duke is the one that put that back. So
Okay.
he probably didn't, like when I do that, I measure like if I open and shut the door, is this leaf going to get stuck?
Okay, Duke, so it's your fault.
Hopefully he didn't hear that. No, I'm just kidding. So I think that just probably is what happened. And for the dining room one, it's usually just me and Duke, and we sit on the opposite side. So like no one's really going there.
Oh my
And
God, you guys sit right next to each other?
No, like.
Oh, I was about to say weird. Like, even in your own home.
Sit, like,
okay, I see what you mean. Like where I was sitting, but Matthew then was sitting next to me, and then like you guys were on that
and
side.
I had like moved that one, so like it was a little bit more in the way than it was supposed to be.
Mm.
And I mean, I don't really care. Like, I would have taken these plants out if I really cared. It was that he went back and punched it after I was like,
remember that.
Yeah, he stepped on it and it crunched, and I was like, okay, fair enough. And then he comes back over it and punches the leaf. So yeah, I'm gonna be a little upset. The step, okay, I understand it's not in the best place for you. For me, it's fine, but for you don't know how to step over something. That's fine. And then you go back and punch it. What if I'm not gonna say
what?
I was like, what if I accidentally stepped on Bo and then just came back and was like, you're in the way.
Well, that would be child abuse. Yeah. So different realm. It is plant abuse. So I feel you there. So not only is Kaleigh a green thumb, but she has a plethora of hobbies. Each time I think that she's done collecting a new hobby, she gets another one. So let's share some details on your hobbies. Gosh, there's so many to count.
I know. I love hobbies. I feel like if I have too much time on my hand, I don't know what to do with
on
myself.
Your hand. You said on your hand. It's on your hand.
No. On my hands. Sorry. I really just don't know what to do with myself. So yeah, I skate.
Now, you roller skate. You have to clarify.
Roller skate.
Because you are not on that. She has a half pipe too for her roller skating shenanigans.
Yeah. So they're just like quad roller
Are you
skates.
using your skateboards out there too?
No, not usually.
Okay.
Yeah. We just still have them in sometimes when other people come over, they want to use them. So I'll be like, go ahead and eat shit, you know?
Have fun with that.
But yeah, you just like add the slide blocks on it and you can, you know, hit the half pipe and rails. And I used to do it way more often. Like I used to skate a lot. And then I still skate every once in a while, but I don't skate as often, I would say. But I still love it. What? I used to skate
I say this with the utmost love in my heart, but I think that the roller skating is the cringiest hobby you have.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so fun. I love it.
Which hobby that you have would you say is the cringiest? I want to know which one of your hobbies you would think is the cringiest one.
I don't think any of my hobbies are cringy.
I mean, I still love you. I'm always like, yes, bitch, get that work in. But
that hurt my feelings. No, I'm just kidding.
I say it with the utmost love. It's just giving very like horse girl energy. But
I would ride a horse. Shit. Maybe horseback riding's about to be my next hobby.
Honestly, though, like as an adult, I feel like being a horse girl is like next level, like rich, actually, because like to be able to.
Well, you're on a ranch.
That's what I'm saying.
The ranch.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Versus like I think when we were kids and it was some like buddy like talking about horses, you're all like, what a loser. But then like as an adult, I mean, I did too. But like I think as an adult, the idea of like horse girl is like, wait, actually, this is kind of cool. Like, bitch, I fucking ride horses. And it's at the stable.
Yeah.
Because like stable rent is like, I mean, back in the day, it used to be at least like $500 a month. So I don't even want to know.
More than that now.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're like
in like
and
the middle
there's
of
still
nowhere.
Like feed and everything.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if that's included in
some stables. I think other stables, it's dependent on like, I don't know. I think it just depends. It's probably like anything in today's day and age. You can add it on for an extra fee.
For an extra fee.
You can do anything.
On top of that, membership fee.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really thought my dad was going to buy me a horse. And it was going to be in our backyard in Okinawa on base.
What?
I really thought.
Very delusional of you.
Horse.
Yes.
Where? Our non-existent backyard on base.
Guess what you got? Plastic pony.
My Little Ponies.
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't really think I have a cringiest.
Okay.
What are my other one? I mean, rock climbing.
That one's okay. I think I'm like that one to me. I'm like, wow, I wish I could do that, but
you could.
I mean, I could do maybe, but like it wouldn't be something like that. I'm like, oh, this is what I want to spend my free time doing.
Okay.
But like that's okay. Like because to me, I feel like when I have free time, I'm like, ooh, what do I want to do? Like unless like it's free time to do something like with a friend, I'm like, I want to do something that requires me to lay down vertically and do nothing.
See, I think that's why I have so many hobbies, is to avoid doing that.
Yeah, but I don't care. I want to do that.
Yeah.
But like I don't have that like before having a child, I would say like, yeah, I would probably have like more hobbies or maybe not even hobbies, but just be doing more things. But now it's like, okay, I have free time by myself.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to do nothing. I'm not going to fill it with something else to do. Unless it's like the gym. But like to me, the gym, I mean, I guess it's kind of a hobby, but not really.
Yeah.
I think it's part of like being like, health and wellness.
Tired. Like climbing is like my gym if I don't get to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'm like, okay, am I going to go like work out today, or am I going to climb? Because it's also like a workout in itself. So sometimes like I'll look at it like that when I go climb. It's not always for fun.
Yeah. And then you play the bass guitar.
Spectrum Business keeps real businesses, like Rise Bakery, connected.
As a business owner, my Spectrum services help simplify my day. Everything we do is easier knowing that we've got a reliable connection. And it helps our business just run really smoothly. Even though our techniques are very ancient, we rely just as heavily on technology. Spectrum allows my business to go from surviving to thriving.
Keep your business running smoothly with Spectrum Internet, starting at $40 a month. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
Oh yeah, space. I think that's
like your most recent hobby.
except sewing will be my next most recent. So I guess that could be the cringiest, but I think sewing is cool now.
No, I don't think that would be the most cringiest because, like, could you imagine once you learn how to, like, hem your own clothes?
Oh yeah.
Because, like, that's what I think about.
Up.
Like just like the Abercrombie shorts and stuff that I was wearing the other day, and then the ones I wore today too. Just like how I told you, like, yeah, I really need a different, like, size, but I went to buy it and it was like $150 and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So now my option is to, like, go to a seamstress and get them to, like, take them in.
Yeah.
But how nice would that be if I just knew how to do that on my own?
Well, and
yeah, by the time
however long it takes me to learn, then you can start hitting me up and I got you. So, because it's hard. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot harder than I thought it would.
By the time I would ship it to you, though, I feel like.
Well, what if I was coming in town? I can just bring my sewing machine. I'm like talking to grandma at this point. I'm not even auntie. I'm
do
grandma.
You have a traveling case for it where it, like, clips on the top and you can carry it?
I mean, I could get one. I mean, I can just hold it.
Yeah.
I used to have my one when I was a kid. Had like a whole case.
Yeah. No, honestly, I fuck with the sewing one because my grandma, she used to make all of our Halloween costumes. Like, we would get to go to Joann's, R.I.P. Joann's.
They had some good fabric.
I know. And you know how they had, like, the pattern section where you would, like, pick out your patterns. So we would pick out our patterns and then we would get to go pick out our fabric for our Halloween costumes. Not that I, like, necessarily, like, I would get to help with the pattern, like, cutting out the fabric. Like, that was really fun. And I would see how she would, like, pin the stuff together. So I feel like it's a hobby I could eventually do, but no. It's just like me thinking, like, I'm going to do my own nails. And I buy all the stuff to do my own nails. And I try one time and I'm like, this took even longer than the time it would take me to be in the nail salon. And it's going to peel off in the next 3 days.
You have to, like...
But I don't have the patience for that. I will say I did, like, the press-ons was a great, like, little trend hobby of mine for quite some time until I got the greenies. And then after I got the greenies, I was like, I will never do this again. Ever.
I can't believe you call press-on nails a hobby.
I mean, it's something you have to do, like, in your free time. Getting pampered is a hobby.
Okay, true.
For some, for rich white women.
Type shit.
Oh, that was a good one.
Thanks.
But with all your hobbies, though, that's what again, because this is just like we were talking about, the last thing I want to do on my drive home is, like, call people to do something, but yet you're coming on your drive home and then you're like, oh, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do this tonight and do this. And we're talking about someone who's in the career field of ABA, similarly to me, and she can thank everything that she's been given to me. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just the initial first step, just your initial first job I got for you, and then you flourished on your own. But looking back, like, what was your perception when you, like, first started in ABA, and, like, how has it changed over time, and, like, what is your perception of it now, and, like, your happiness and, like, what you see you doing with it forever?
ABA in the early stages was, like, wild to look back on because the clinic we worked at was...
Dude, that place was shit. I left way before you even did because you were just like...
But you also don't even... like, when you're
Yeah.
I hadn't started a program of any sort, any ABA class, like whatever. You just get so you don't even realize like, yeah, RBCs have an ethical code, but like,
But they did not do a good job. Yeah,
so
well,
not only did they not like
explain things
it,
to you.
like I didn't really understand. I always thought like I was a strong RBT from the beginning. Of course, I mean, I'm sure in the beginning I probably was, but I felt like I
needed the least amount of help.
Good at it pretty early on.
Yeah.
And I think even with that, like the company that we work for was doing shady.
Oh, 100%. That's why I was like, okay, I'm gone. I'm out of here.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't even remember like when it was like the point of like, oh, this is what I'm going to do now. Because I was like a biochem major. I probably wouldn't have graduated if that was stayed my major, for being honest. No way.
No. Like after Chem 1?
I think I took Chem 2 twice.
I did. I think because I was originally
took me over and he was like, "You should just drop." And
I was originally a biology major as well because I was like, "Oh, I want to be a psychiatrist," which meant that I would have to go to med school. So I had to be, and then I think I did pass Chem 1, and then I think it was like Chem 2, and I was like, I need to withdraw from this class.
I was like, no.
This is not for me. Because Chem 1, I was like, I was skating by because I had a fantastic lab partner. And Chem 2, I was like, this is just simply, this is not going to be it for me.
Yeah.
It's fine. It wasn't my destination. But like, how do you feel about it now? I feel like you're definitely in a very like niche area of ABA, which is cool. You're not in like the typical what like every BCBA is doing, which I think is really like nice because I don't feel like when anybody thinks of like ABA or a BCBA, they think of anything other than like
early intervention,
or just like going to a clinic and being autistic, and it's like,
like you can use
there's a lot more to it than that actually. But
I don't know. I think because I've like gotten the opportunity to apply it in alternative settings, like it makes me love the field more because you can see like how effective it can be for different individuals and like different parts of their life and different settings. So I think that's just like really cool, but I think it's like a fighting battle all the time for like why it's needed in these other settings, like residential settings, whether it's DJJ or psych facilities, group homes, things like that, which I mean, group home stuff is a little bit more common, but it's like people don't, it's like they want you there, but then once you're there, they're like, okay, we're just still going to do whatever we want. Like, we're still not going to listen. You can like show them and they'll be like, okay, I'm glad it's working. And you're like, okay, but like, you guys need to do this stuff, like, for real. So it's like a battle. But then when you have like those successful cases or those people who listen and implement those things and they see like, oh, wow, this is like really working. Like, this is really cool. Like, I want to know more about it. Things like that. It's like very rewarding. Or when you get a kid that was engaging in, you know, severe behaviors on a daily basis where he's not, you know, self-harming or fighting every day or things that you're like, wow, like that's crazy that we were able to do that with, you know, a typically developing kid, or like how to deal with, you know, people who have had severe histories of trauma, and how we can use like ABA in those settings as well. So I just feel like there's so much to be done in the settings that I'm not like, oh, I'm so sick of this.
Yeah.
Versus
I think that's the thing though, is that it's like ABA popped off because of all the clinics though, but not every single area is getting on board with like, oh, BCBAs can do multiple things. Because Cassie and I talk about that a lot. It's like there may be a job for like a training coordinator at just like a regular, like, I don't know, type company. And it's like, oh, I clearly could do all of this because I have to train staff. I have to make sure they're doing things with fidelity. Like all of these things that you know. But it's like because it's like your certification is as a behavior analyst,
Mm-hmm.
and like if you're like looking at someone's typical like resume who does typically only work with like the autism population, or like even if it's not autism, it's like ADHD or ODD or something like that, then it's like these people are like next. But it's like I can do all of those things. So I think that's where it's tough in the field for me. I will say I'm happy I'm starting to see this a lot more, because like this, if I were to do something on my own, I feel like is what I would base the foundation of it off of is like parent training only.
Mm-hmm.
And like you literally like you don't even ever necessarily have to meet with the kid, because when we also think of like ACT is like based off of like relational frame theory. So like, and like all of those types of things. So it's like you don't have to be a licensed therapist to do
Mm-hmm.
ACT. And I really can't wait for the day that insurance realizes that and gets on board with like, oh, BCBAs can probably do like a lot more with like other populations too. Because I would love to just do like parent training only. And in the sense of like parent training, and we're using like some sort of like ACT for your parent sessions, because like these parents need therapy too. That's why I like want to go. I mean, I still do want to go back to school. Don't know if I ever will, but it was a big want for me for a while to like either like be able to be like a like clinical social worker or like a therapist, or even at one point I thought about like the PhD route to be like a psychologist, but I'm like, that's literally 5 years of my life.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could dedicate all of that.
A lot. You could also just get like a certification in, like
Yeah, like,
and although it's not like a full-on degree, like
yeah,
it's still recognized. Like even like at facilities and stuff, like the therapists aren't always like full-on gone to college. They usually just have, I don't know if it's just like a certificate or if it's actually the license, but it's not like they have their like masters in.
Yeah. But because like I remember in parent training, it's like they would always be like, do you know of a therapist like we could see? And I'm like, I mean, I know of therapists I could recommend you to, but ones that are going to understand also like this other side of what you need. So I feel like that's like a very niche area that needs to be expanded upon.
That's
so
pretty cool.
I would love to do that, maybe. But I also like like that's the thing. Like I love the parent aspect of it when I have parents who are amazing, and then also parent like
versus like
the parents who are just like, cool, you're gonna fix everything for me. And it's like that's
not how it
actually
works.
not how it works at all. Just even like in your facilities, like you might not necessarily be dealing with parents, but you're dealing with like staff who have to implement these things. And it's like, or even like when I was doing a lot of school contract work, like going into the schools, and it's like, I am literally trying to do everything to help you. And I've made it as easy as possible. I've chosen the easiest interventions. I've broken things down like to where essentially like my staff who's coming in is doing majority of the work for you. I just need you to follow through on this one thing, but you're telling me you can't do it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, and I am someone who like, I do not like to waste my time. So if you're wasting my time and we're like the only people who are putting forth effort, goodbye.
Yeah.
Like I'm discharging you. Like, and that sucks in the case of like the child, the adult, the whomever. But like, if you're not going to change and you're not going, like, then we're only going to get so far anyways.
No, that is true. And it's hard, especially with like sometimes in schools, I don't know if that was the case for you, is like you don't necessarily have a bunch of time. So it's like hard to like get the buy-in and do the rapport building that sometimes is needed in those settings.
Yeah, because there's something like again.
Before they're like really interested in like listening to what you have. And like that's a problem with like facilities. Like that's why anytime like there's new staff and things like that, like I try to like work one-on-one with them, like with the kids. So then they're like, oh wait, what she's doing is working. And then I go in with the training. But like that's not always a possibility. Like you don't always have the hours or, the availability to do those things, to even like try to get like that rapport for buy-in before telling them like this is what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And like funding is just such an issue in ABA in general.
And in schools too. Like, I mean, I think about it if I was a teacher in like a sped classroom.
Yeah.
and
Like,
somebody
oh my
told me
God,
and somebody told me like
anything else.
yeah, and somebody told me like I need you to also do this. I'd be like, that's not gonna work. So I can like see it from their end, but it's like frustrating on my end because I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do for you here. I feel like we could rant about that forever.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously when I met Duke, didn't like him. So what was it like for you navigating your because I feel like too when I met him, you guys like, I don't know if you were really official yet.
We had like
Just started.
dating,
Yeah, like just started.
like a week before my birthday, I think, and you guys were down for my
Yeah.
birthday. So
No, I think it was just me who was down because it was when you still lived in Wesley Chapel. Like the very end of you living there
Yes, then
before you then moved to the other house.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I met him. Didn't like him. Then the second time I met him, it was still just me. Like Matthew didn't come with me either, but you were living in that other house. And that's when I was like, oh, he's not too bad.
Yeah. But I don't even remember like if he hung out with us a lot that time. Maybe just like a little bit.
No,
was kind of
he
like-
wasn't. Because I think maybe in the back of your mind, you were like,
I feel like my memory's so bad because like I knew in the beginning that you didn't.
did I
Really
specifically
like
like
him?
say
I don't-
anything? Or obviously you were just able to pick up like, oh, she doesn't really like him.
I think it was just like something that he did that pissed you off. And it was like one thing. And I noticed like the shift then.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Yeah.
And then I think over time it was kind of like, I think you were just kind of like, oh, I think maybe it was just like that one thing annoyed me. It wasn't like, that's not like it all the time. Like I don't really, I can't say I really remember if I'm being honest, but I don't think I ever felt like, oh no, I can't bring him around her because she doesn't like him.
Yeah.
I think I was just like, oh, you pissed her off kind of thing. But it could have been like that, but I just can't say that I remember.
I mean, I remember the second time that I was coming and I was going to meet him again. I remember because we did all three go to like dinner together or something. That was the only thing that we really, and then maybe the comedy show too.
Oh, okay. So
But
I'm remembering this trip more.
But that was the second time.
Yeah.
And I remember in the very beginning, because I think we had like a day or two that it was just going to be like me and you. You were very much like hyping him up. You're like, and Duke is so like I think you were just trying like so hard to be. And I was like, yeah.
I think I was also like still the beginnings.
Yeah, I know. You're like, oh, it's so great. Yeah. And then I was like, the more the weekend went on, I was like, okay, he's not like too bad. He's okay. I was like, But I think he's right because he like even said it like, we're both Geminis.
Yeah.
So
you guys both have strong.
very. What did you say? What did you say the other night? You were like, neither of you has finished.
Oh yeah.
Either story.
I was like, one of you guys just shut the fuck up and let the other finish because you guys are just like halfway through and the other person goes over and it's just like over and over and I'm like, I don't even know what we're talking about right now. Like you guys
but
are
we
too
were
similar right now.
perfectly fine doing what we were doing.
I know, like I don't even think you guys.
No,
realize,
you
but
were
me, I'm like,
out about
are
it.
you guys kidding me right now? Can one of you guys shut the fuck up? That's so funny.
So, what do you think is like something that I originally misunderstood or misjudged about him at first, but now I get and appreciate? I guess like we kind of answered that.
Is like the strong,
just like us both having really strong personalities.
Yeah. And it was kind of like clash. Like
there's only room for one of us here.
Yeah, like I'm not used to that. And then
yeah,
but then it wasn't like I think both of you guys, if you guys are going on about something, not something negative, just going on, it can sometimes seem
like we're very passionate speakers and stuff about that.
If like looked at the wrong way, you might think like, oh, they're like mad or they're getting upset or angry or something. But it's really just like it's the passion part of it. So I think that can like be interpreted the wrong way of what you guys really are meaning by it. But it's just like you're talking into you're like kind of like whatever, but it just sounds like, oh shit, like did I do something? And it's really like, no, you're just like really talking about whatever you're talking about.
Sorry, I was zoned out. In my own world, talking about my favorite topic ever. So, and then Matthew and Duke, I think they didn't meet at all until it was the Bachelor Bachelorette, right? That was Duke's first time meeting like everybody, even Matthew.
I think so. I don't know if maybe he met Matthew one other time, like maybe if we came down to Pensacola. I feel like
I think maybe,
but definitely he didn't meet anyone else. 100% until that. But I don't know if possibly they met before. I don't really remember. I'm trying to think of like the first night, if it was like he was like just meeting everyone or if it was.
I feel like he was, because I remember Matthew kind of being like, because like not all people who like my friends have had relationships with has he necessarily liked their significant other.
Yeah.
So I do think that was his first time meeting Matthew, like, and everybody. And I was like, no, it's gonna be fine. Like, you're gonna like him. Like, it's not gonna be a big deal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was.
Probably then.
Did you have any like initial apprehensions about them meeting each other? Did you feel like oh, I don't know if they're getting along or not?
Nervous, like introducing like different, even if it's different like friends, or like like a significant other, because you're like, oh, I love this person, like both of them so much, and I just want them to get along. But like, not everyone gets along or whatever. So I definitely was like, oh man, I hope like. And also, like, I knew most people in your, like, but I still didn't know everyone either. So it was kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What if?
I mean, I think you knew, like, all of my friends and some of, like, Matthew's, but not all of them either, so.
So it was still kind of like, but then it was, like, instantly. Like, we got there and it was just, like, a great time instantly where we were like, oh shit, there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
So, and it was great how well, like, they got along in general. I was like, oh shit, they like hit it off.
What's something that now, because I think like Matthew and Duke have continued to like have a like good friendship and relationship. So like, what's something that like you appreciate or admire about that?
I feel like just the way that they can like talk about anything or like just like kind of like how we could just fuck around and like we can do whatever. Like we don't have to be doing anything. I kind of feel like that's the case for them too. So it's kind of just for some reason they like have somewhat similar interests. They don't have to agree on everything, but like they can still talk about whatever. And there's not really like a judgmental aspect of it. It's just like, oh, we're vibing, so like that's just what we do. So, and like I know they still will like hit each other up on like Instagram.
I think they send
they
send each other reels literally like every single day.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh,
they're cute little besties. I know, actually, like I appreciate that. I think like that's a big thing for me because it's like, especially with you guys not living like in the same place we live, like it's like, okay, well, it's either we're all coming or I have to find like I think before when it was just like me and Matthew, like obviously no big deal. Like I could find a weekend to like go. But like now, if they didn't get along, it would be like, okay, well then I have to like find some like grand time where he can like be with the dude and like I can just come here by myself. But like even like take the dude out of the equation, like it would be so awkward. Like I feel like we wouldn't wind up seeing each other as much if they didn't get along because knowing like, okay, well when we come we have to stay here, like we have to be around them and like
it's like a
hard
to deal
it's
with.
like anxious on like my end. You know what I
Because then
mean?
it's also like kind of like wanting to check to make sure they're having a good time.
Yeah, like, are you
Like, oh,
okay?
are you like, how
Yeah.
are you guys getting along? Like, is
Yeah.
everything okay? Kind of thing. Like, it
Yeah.
definitely is a lot more stressful. I think that is really nice because I don't have any other like. I'm trying to think. They definitely get along the best out of like all of my like girlfriends who have significant others. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think Duke usually gets along with like everyone, but like I think they have like that friendship where they are like contacting
Well, yeah,
each
it's
other
not- it's-
outside of us.
Yeah, and it's not
Versus
like
it's they're contacting each other only because
of us.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like the difference in it,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like they might get along with anyone, but it's like they are also seeking out the friendship themselves, not
Mm-hmm.
only around us.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm like, oh, we're going to Tampa to see Kaleigh and Duke, and it's like, oh, great.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, like me and Duke have been talking too.
Yeah.
So I feel like that I appreciate a lot because that takes a lot of anxiety off of me to be like, what is this weekend gonna be like? So first visit with the dude being here.
I love him.
Are you sure? Like
I do.
being really honest, like him being, because also, I mean, we talked about it. Like I think it's hard to baby proof in general. Like even us in our house, there's still things every single day that I'm baby proofing. Like the toilet seats just got locks on them the other week. Like there's something new every day that you find out you have to baby proof. But like, how do you feel about him running around being in your space?
I think it's been fun, and it's actually been like nice to kind of see how it would be like to have a little and also with Storm too, because that was a big thing of like I don't like she's been around kids,
but not
like
something that small.
Yeah,
That
not
like doesn't
a,
understand necessarily.
Yeah, like
what it's supposed to
the
do.
boundaries
Yeah.
and stuff, and I think she's like been pretty chill with him like the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And has been like pretty like gentle and not like even like her excitement around you guys versus like she's excited but like can almost like register she needs to
Oh yeah,
contain it
she literally
more
like gut punched
than-
me this morning.
Yeah.
But like I think she's only like tapped him like on the
Once, yeah.
arm once.
And that
So
was
it's
like my biggest worry was
Yeah.
like 'cause I know that like when she gets excited she wants to like
Yeah.
paw
It
or
was
hug,
literally
and I'm
fir-
like
I
oh
was
my
and it was
God.
literally this morning. It was so funny. It was like first thing I got up, and like the first, like when you have to pee
Yeah.
first thing when you wake up in the morning, and I was like, honestly, Storm, you're really glad I didn't piss myself because that would have landed on you because you gut punched me. So
But no, he's so cute. I love him.
I do too. I mean, it's hard not to, but
I know. I'm just like it's the most time I've got to spend with him, so I'm like I feel like every single moment. That's why I'm like, can I just hold him until he starts crying and then you can have him back? Because I'm like I only get, a few days until well, I guess I might see him next month. But still, I mean like this much consistent time
that you don't have to like share with other people.
Yeah,
because like at the birthday party, like you had to share with
there's
like,
always a bunch of other people there. So I'm like, oh my God, it can just be like I get to like
yeah.
So
I mean, the crying thing, like when you're holding him, like that's everybody though. I think you saw that though too. Like he'll cry even when Matthew and I are holding him, just because like now that he's like walking and moving around, he's like, you literally will not hold me. Yeah, you will not contain me. I will go fuck some shit up.
As parents, you two are still like at the point where like you still feel bad if it's on anyone else.
Yeah,
like you don't want, even if like I'm like, oh, I don't care. You're like, no, it's fine. Like I got like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and it could also be like, everyone likes to do things a specific way too. So it's like, no, like I kind of already have like my routine with this. So this is like how I do it. And then also it's kind of like, I feel like you're like, oh, I don't want to be an inconvenience. Like I'm already staying at your house. Like I don't want, and it's like, it's not though. Like he's a baby. He's going to be a baby.
I think it's a little bit more of the second point for me. Because I think I got over a while ago, like, okay, well, like, they're not going to do it the exact same way I did it. Because in my mind, I'm like, actually, I think that's good for him because, like, daycare, school, wherever, nobody's ever going to do something the exact same way I'm going to do. So he's just going to have to get over that. That's, like, the evolution of life, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think it's, and not even in a sense of, like, just you, but in general, I think I still have a big part of me that has anxiety about, like, my friends who don't have kids, worrying that like they're going to be like annoyed about having to do something
Mm-hmm.
that is like, that's like why whatever Matthew said like the other day, I was like, don't say that. Like it like
Yeah.
hurt my feelings because I'm like, I don't like thinking of it as like, oh, like we have to hang out with him today, like, and Fallon and Matt, like, great. We have to do something that's a little bit more like kid friendly or like
and it's not like that at all. And I think like that is also Matthew's way of like dealing with
joking.
his
Yeah.
probably
yeah.
anxiety about it
Yeah.
as well.
It's
like the
joking
same that
about
you
it.
have. It's just like you guys probably like manage it differently. So to him, he's like, I'd rather, and so like they don't think it like I'm just gonna make a joke about it.
Yeah.
So it's like already known or whatever.
Mhm.
But it's like, no, that's not the case. Like we're happy to be here.
Yeah.
Like this is fun for us too, and we get to like see and hang out with him and you guys. So it's not like a chore. It's not like we have to do this for
Yeah.
him.
I think that's just my main thing. It's like,
but it also makes sense when it's like most of your friends don't have kids, so it's like
yeah. So it's
kind of like,
very,
well,
and yeah.
for everyone else, they're like not used to being around it all the time.
Right.
Versus
So that's
like if
where
your
I'm
other
like,
friends probably who have kids, they're like, fuck it, my kid
Yeah.
does the same thing. Or,
Yeah.
like they're all doing it, you know.
Yeah.
So like I can understand that, like thinking or like feeling.
like being like, oh fuck, like they're probably really annoyed right now that we have to do XYZ, but yeah.
Yeah.
But now that he's been here, like and like now that also like you've been a part of me going through pregnancy and then like early stages of motherhood, how do you feel like that's like impacted your perspective on like your future or like goals with like your family?
I don't know. I mean, I've always wanted kids, so I'm obviously going to. I feel like going through pregnancy just sounds so rough right now, and you were like, don't let anyone lie to you. It's shit. The whole thing's shit. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm like, this is, she's like, I wish someone told me it fucking sucks. I'm like, okay, this is probably why no one did because now I'm scared.
Because now you're
Now I don't want to.
I think for me,
Which is not
like,
true.
I
Like,
think,
I do
like,
want to.
I did it all suck? No. I think I was also like an anomaly because like of the other issues that I had that was having me have miscarriages. So like the medications and things I had to do for that separately added to the stress level of being pregnant. And then when I got hypertension, that just made it even worse because then I was at the OB 2 times a week. And it was just like, because you're at the OB 2 times a week and you're getting an ultrasound like every single time you're there, it's just like, it wouldn't necessarily always be like bad news, but it would not be like anything positive.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like I was leaving and I was like, yes, everything's going great. So then I think it just became like more like depressing or whatever. I don't think like, and then I think also because of the hypertension and because of, I don't know, what the fuck ever, I gained like 70 pounds. So then for me, it was really difficult after gaining that much weight and then like not being pregnant anymore and then like continuing to be like a larger size for a while. Like I think to me that's why I'm like this, like no one said anything about this because also I will still stand on this. People who say that breastfeeding like helps you lose baby weight are liars. Maybe for some people, but actually when you're breastfeeding you have to eat like 500 to 600 more calories a day than you normally would to keep up with your milk production. Because if you don't, you won't be able to produce milk. And it doesn't even matter because you didn't even have to like ask me to eat additional calories. I was just that hungry because you're also burning. I mean, you are burning calories, but like you're still intaking more calories. So it's like not really canceling out. So I think like that's why pregnancy for me was so hated. I mean, I wouldn't say like but there's also like there's still people I ask to this day like and they're like, I love pregnancy. It was like so great. So I do think it's just like each individual.
Yeah.
I think for me, I had a lot harder time than I thought I was gonna have with my body changing and like being basically like a different human being and like seeing my body change and I could do nothing about it. Like seeing me have to constantly buy like more clothes or like not feel comfortable or like just be uncomfortable in whatever like I was wearing too. I also like at first I thought like, ooh, yes, like being pregnant in the winter is like going to be the best thing ever. But now I'm like, if I were to ever do this again, I would want to be pregnant during the summer, I think actually. Even though it's fucking hot, I think there's more to do. It's not dark at fucking 5 p.m. making you already like as a normal human being with nothing else going on, like winter makes people depressed.
Yeah.
So imagine like being pregnant and then it being wintertime. I don't think I really thought about that. I just thought about, ooh, like who wants to be pregnant during the summer when it's smoldering hot? But it's like at least you can go to the beach. You can go on the boat. Like you can go do things. But it's like the wintertime and it's like, well, it's fucking freezing cold and there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
And it's dark outside. So
Yeah. That makes sense.
I wouldn't let my original opinions deter you.
It won't. It doesn't. I just feel like it'll happen eventually. I don't feel like.
I know, but do you still feel like you? Because I know at one point you were like, I don't know, like I feel like I want to have a whole bunch because like you always had like a small family, so you said you wanted to have like a really big. Do you still feel that way?
I mean, I still want like more than one kid for sure. I don't know like how many that will be, and I also like want to probably adopt or foster or something like that, or both. I mean, I don't know. I guess, but I want to be older for that. I would say like a lot more like comfortable and established before I would like foster or adopt. But
yeah, like fuck up your own kids before you take on repairing other kids.
pretty much. But yeah, I definitely want like multiple kids. I don't know if that will change, but I don't know, I feel like once you like already have a kid too, it's like, well, my life is my kid or kids. So it's like then it's kind of like starts at some point once they're older, like fun, busy, like you don't really have your own life anymore, but it's like at least you can kind of like
they're
like I feel like I'm gonna be
they're self-sufficient in some shape or form.
Like it's gonna be so fun to like see what like sports or instruments or like what hobbies they get into and like seeing
like
progress
them have
in
a
those
personality
and like those things, and it's like and then how like different or the same they are to you and like different things like that. I don't know.
But I think that's where I struggle with like, will I have another? Is that I don't like this 2 under 2 thing. Great for the people who can do it. Not me. I couldn't have 2 kids that were under 2 years old.
Yeah, I don't.
That sounds like really awful. Like also like when I see the people with double strollers, I'm like no, I don't. Like I need one of them to be to be self-sufficient enough to the point where like that like I can give them a task, have them do it and be able to like focus on baby, or they're in school, so then that way like. And also research does show that it's best to have your kids like at least 3 to 4 years apart because there is none of this like fighting for someone's attention because the other one's like in pre-K in school in some type of program usually. So then at least during the day you have that time to like bond with your baby and like give them the like motherly love that they need. And then like you're still not necessarily like neglecting your other kid by not giving them the attention that they're used to getting. But I think about that and I'm like, but I also see why some people have kids like back to back because I think, well, damn, once I've gotten my kids to this point where they're like,
then I'm
kind of like, like kind of self-sufficient and now I'm going to like backtrack to like this stage of life that we're like so far disconnected from. I'm like, am I going to hate that? So like, that's where I go back and forth with like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I feel like
also see what the state of the world is.
But
you want 2 under 2?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, no.
But
it's like, bitch.
No.
It's actually not recommended because I remember when I was like signing. Well, and I was like signing my discharge papers like at the hospital and stuff, and literally in them is like something about It is not recommended to like get pregnant until like 16 months after you gave birth to like your first child. So like your first child needs to essentially be a year and a half, 2 years before you should really have another one for your like womanly health.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like your body goes
Like, well, because like it
pregnancy
has to
and then
like
after.
it has to heal completely. Like things take time. Like from the outside looking in, like you may think, oh yeah, like she's good, she's healed. Like no, there's still so many like internal changes going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how that goes for me too. I feel like another thing too is I'm definitely not gonna have another one like until like my lazy ass friends get with the fucking program.
I know. I want
Because I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I can't be having like because yes, I have a few friends with kids, but it's like not enough for it to be like, oh, I have plenty of people who I can like hit up and be like, let's go take the kids here.
Yeah.
And at this point, like,
Well, that's why I said you have to have another one.
I know, but I'm like, well,
And then it could be
I
the
don't
same
know what your timeline
that
is.
I have one.
Well, we're gonna have to
And
get on
then-
the same timeline.
Well, I thought I was under the impression that you were one and done. That was it. You were like, no way.
It has it.
But now we can get pregnant at the same time.
Yeah. It was supposed to be. If I was having a girl, it was a definite like, we're good. I don't want to do this again.
You want a girl.
Yeah. And then I mean, not that I don't love the dude, but then it was like, okay, maybe. And then after like gave birth, whatever, all the things, I was like, no, I think one is good. And then now like slowly I've been like, I don't know. Like there's days where I'm like, absolutely. And then the next day I'm like, absolutely the fuck not. So I think this is why I'm happy to have an
What is the soonest you would want to have another? Like when Bo's like 2?
No, like he needs to be in school. Like at least in pre-K.
Was that 3?
And it's like 3 or 4. So that would be like
2 years.
2 years. But you got to think that's like 2 years by the time he's there. So if I like wanted my baby to be born by the time he was doing that. So then I think about that too.
Like, that would be like next year though.
Yeah. And I think about, I'm like, wait, I just started having fun again.
True.
I don't know. Like, so that's where I mean, like, it's just so difficult. Plus, like, I do have to think about, I already had fertility problems the first go around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the odds that I continue to have fertility problems are higher. So, like, I have to think about that too if I want another one. Like,
do you think you would just like, okay, we'll try, and if it happens, it happens, and if not, it doesn't, but I'm not going to be like crazy about tracking or do anything like that. Like, it's just kind of going to be like, let's just see.
Yeah, I mean, like, it definitely
there,
would not be something that I would be on the level that I was with Bo. It would be, okay, I get my IUD out, and that's probably it. Like, maybe, obviously, like, on an app, maybe I would track my cycles, like, based on, like, my periods and stuff, but I don't think it would be as intense as it used to be. And then I think also, and I've like told Matthew this already too, though, the biggest thing for me would be if I had another miscarriage, then I would just be done. Like I would not go farther after that because simply I think I just personally, like, if I had to go through that again, I would not want to set myself up for potentially going through it another time, because then that would be like, so if I had another one, that would be 4. Then if I had another one after that, that'd be 5. And like, to me, that's just like, too much.
Like,
And it's like, also like, okay, I have this miscarriage. Like, obviously I'm going to be depressed and down. And to me, it just would cue me to be like, well, let me just appreciate what I already have.
That makes sense.
So I like that. I would be probably how I would go. So we'll see. But that is why, though, I am happy about the IUD, because I have to be very like, oh no, I'm serious about this, because I have to make an appointment. They have to remove it. Like, yes, my cycles will like pretty much immediately go back to like what they need to be, but I still have to make an appointment. Versus like with pills, you can just be like, fuck it, I'm throwing my pills away today.
Yeah.
So I have to be very like, and I think that's good for me to be like, nope, I actually want this. I'm going to go make this appointment. Yeah.
And everything for it. That makes sense. Well.
What, do you just have to throw a pill packet away?
I'm on birth control.
Oh.
I haven't been on birth control for years.
I think we've talked about this, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to not be on birth control, but until I get to a point of being able to like have a hysterectomy,
Yeah.
so that I don't have to deal with my endometriosis, like I'm not raw dogging it. Not even for the fact of like sex wise, for the fact of my period. Like I don't want that bitch.
True.
I don't need her. Mm-mm.
You don't get it at all with the IUD?
I do. So actually there have been a few times where I'm like, no, I need to get this thing removed because I hate it so much. Because it'll be random. Like 1 month I'll just like I'll start spotting and then like it'll go away and I'm like, oh, okay, that was it. And then like a day later, like I'm having a full on period, like heavy flow type shit.
Really?
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then it'll just be like that for a day. Then it'll stop and I'll think it's done. And then like 2 days later, I may like bleed again. It's like, that's the only thing I don't really like is because I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on? But you got to think about it. Like, you're not actually really having a period because you're not ovulating. You're not like, it's withdrawal bleeding. So there's no way to track your cycle. At least when you're taking pills, you can be like, okay. I mean, but even when I was taking pills, I skipped the placebo week. So I just never.
It freaked me out. I don't know why.
I mean, my prescription was written that way so that I didn't have the period.
Oh.
So
I think I've only done it like maybe once, and I was like,
if you knew, like, oh no, I don't want to have my period this week. I'm doing X, Y, Z. So I'm skipping
but
the
I think it
placebo.
was like just like once. Like I don't know why it freaked me out. I was like, oh no.
I mean, but you got to think like even when you take the placebo pills, like again, it's not a real period. Like if we were to get into the anatomy of things, like it's not truly what a period is. It's like withdrawal bleeding. On all of those fun health notes, what's your feral thought for the listeners? I told you to be thinking about this.
Okay, well, my feral thought is
gotta bring it extra close.
If you are very strictly pro-life, you should have to adopt.
Oh, wait, yeah, we talked about this.
I don't know, I wanted to do something less political, but I'm like,
I mean,
I don't it's not even really that political.
That's
it's just
what I'm
like
saying.
People who are so strong on like, it's so bad, how dare you? And I'm like, okay, well then how dare you not do anything about all the kids who are in foster care?
No, it's literally like what that nun said. She was like, if you like say that you're pro-life, but you are not putting anything in place for after these children are born, you're pro-birth.
Yep.
Mic drop. Well, thank you guys for having us. And thank you to Kaleigh for being such an incredible friend, a podcast, an incredible hostess.
Oh, thank you.
I guess thank you to Duke too for cooking. Honorable mention. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 20. Loved having you on this Tampa episode. Be sure to connect with me on my social medias at Feral Thoughts Pod, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.